Do they do that often for you?
They just started doing it like just for those that don't have IDs because
you can't get anything done without an ID.
you really can't.
Right.
I've come to find that out.
Without
I lost my ID last year.
Oh, you lost your ID?
Yeah. Well, I got incarcerated and it got thrown away somehow. So,
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not sure that's. I mean, stuff goes missing.
Yeah, it's my own fault for getting in trouble, but whatever. I don't know where it went.
Well, my name's Gary.
Hi, Gary. My name's Mike.
Mike. Everybody calls me Super G.
Super G.
Yeah.
All right.
My buddies call me Super G, but
All right, Super G.
it's a community issue, and I try to get some information for people. There's a lot of people online that
Disapprove that don't
well,
approve it.
the thing is it's not so much that they disapprove, they don't understand.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
that part too.
I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of misunderstanding out there. And look, I mean, we're all human and we all have basic needs, and I try to be as unbiased as possible.
That's very nice.
So like, I don't
Judge.
I don't judge. It is what it is. I just need information.
Yeah.
What's your barriers?
Yeah.
What are your barriers to, like, the cops coming to take you to get IDs? That's
helping us.
That's a barrier that needs to be overcome. And if the police can use their resources, the community resources, like the homeless outreach program, then that's a great deed, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. That's what I said. I was like, I understand the cops have their job,
Right.
So but that's extra. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean,
that's something.
There's a
pretty
basic
cool.
keeping the peace and obviously, making sure the community as a whole has some kind of common ground in terms of, like you say, keeping the place clean and maybe there's some nefarious activities, certain places. That's my.
Don't do that here.
Well, I guess right now you see this, and I'm like, well, this is not so bad. I mean, a lot of people don't want to see it, but it is what it is. You have a place to keep dry when it rains and keep your stuff, and then you see, behind
oh my
McDonald's.
God. Yeah, that's
Camp McDonald's.
There's no because it's no policing down there.
Right.
That's just they just do whatever.
So what's the difference between those people who are not partaking in a program like this, although this is a privately funded program, right? Or did
this
the
is
city?
nonprofit, I think.
Yeah. I don't know that.
I think the Rodney's. Well, to see that right there is, it's owned by the railroad company.
That
strip right there.
Strip. That's
the street is the city.
Right.
That's a whole different entity
right
there.
And I think that's one of the
that's
issues
why they can do
with.
it.
So like the riverbed is.
A whole nother thing.
It's all about jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Right. So the riverbed is Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah.
It's not city-owned property. Right. It's protected. It's supposed to be protected, but it's not. They're not able to patrol it regularly, like do warrant checks or just do safety checks or whatever.
Yeah, they kind of do that right here too.
Without permission, I think. And I might be wrong about that, but I think they do limited patrols.
They should be able to do that. That's fair.
But they can't, even though it's supposed to be no trespassing and technically not supposed to be living down there. There are a lot of people that live down there, and they can't extract them because it's not their jurisdiction.
Right.
And then there's Caltrans property, and talk about cleanup and.
But yeah, it's all that's what they said to the people back over there. They said, okay, so keep this shit clean.
Right.
We won't mess with you.
Right.
And they can't even fucking do that.
Well, there was that huge fire down there that last week, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know. I don't know that anybody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Luckily,
there was a air compressor in the back.
Air compressor.
It was a generator. Excuse me. And the gas tank on that thing blew up. Boom! That shook everybody up.
I figured it was some propane.
Had that not blown up, it was just a gas can from a generator.
Yeah.
Had that not blown up,
right,
no one would have been aware of it in that place.
So they had a generator to run lights or whatever they got back there.
It didn't even freaking work. It was just the old one. It didn't even freaking work.
Oh,
but it
I
still
see.
had some kind of
Yeah,
chemicals
yeah.
in the
Maybe they tried to
in the
get it
pla-
to
in the
work
plastic.
or something.
No, the guy was cold. And he fucking lit a fire inside of his tent.
Yeah.
How stupid is that?
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
so
"What
he
up?"
lit a fire to be.
He lit a fire to
be
warm himself up
Right. So
inside there.
there's another.
And then he fell asleep,
Yeah.
and then the freaking place caught on fire.
Right. I mean, that's as
that
bad
was
as
really stupid.
falling asleep with a cigarette in your
That-
hand and
yeah, even-
on the
yeah,
sofa.
exactly.
You know.
Yeah. You don't do that though. It's like
Yeah. Well, I see some cops patrolling. I don't see the homeless outreach van though. I see a couple cops going
yeah,
through here.
they cruise through here all the time. It's like
Yeah.
it's just to see what's going on. See if they can shake up or whatever.
Interesting.
But
Did
for
you-
the most part, this is pretty good.
Did you-
I like it,
Well, I mean, it's like I said.
especially for those that really need it. You know, it's like
Right.
Some,
I
some
mean,
people are really need it, but there's a little community. They start
Right.
they help each other.
so these little ones, the short ones, those are just property storage.
The red ones,
Yeah.
you put your junk in there.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole idea, to have that and then your spot. That way there's not shit everywhere.
I got you.
Like somebody's got people who's got too much stuff.
Yeah. Well,
You know, you gotta downsize it.
I mean, personally, when I see somebody and I'm like, they're homeless, but they have like 3 grocery carts full of stuff. I'm like, what is all that stuff
Yeah.
that they have in there? And it's their possessions, whatever. It's
See, they don't want to
not
lose
really-
it because and this is good because now they can leave their property. And
Right.
It won't get jacked because if you,
There's somebody. I mean, you guys patrol yourselves.
well, yeah.
There's nobody really.
It's an honor
here.
system,
right?
like over there, and shit comes up missing all the time.
I
If you got
bet.
any good stuff like in your tent, like over in that area,
You
or
better
one
keep
of
it
those
in your backpack.
It's
with
gonna
you.
get got. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're
you don't
gonna
wanna
wipe
lose it.
they're gonna wipe through your shit. So this is a little better because you can't just pop over there and get anybody's stuff.
Sure.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't. That's. I mean, simply. I mean, that was. I spoke to last year. I was out and I spoke to a couple guys, Mike and JoJo over here, and that was one of their biggest issues was just someplace to keep.
Yeah,
the stuff.
I think JoJo died.
Yeah, I heard somebody was
Yeah.
on my YouTube channel and told me I hadn't seen him around for a while,
Yeah.
and he said he had passed a couple months ago.
Yeah, he sure did.
I'm not sure what the issue was with that, but
He got
during this,
sepsis.
oh, he had a lot
yeah,
of medical issues.
yeah, it was sepsis, and then his blood ended up being
Yeah.
too toxic to
Yeah.
filter through.
Well,
so
that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
He seemed like a nice guy.
yeah, you got at that. You got to take care of yourself when it gets to that
Well,
point.
yeah.
And I failed to do that myself.
Yeah.
I hate hospitals and stuff like that, but
Right.
I had to go in like last week because my legs were all swollen, and everyone's
Sure.
like, "Look at what's going on there."
Yeah.
It was they said it was it wasn't water, it was it was from because I got an infection in my knee a long time ago.
Yeah.
And something came back. I don't know.
Right.
And it just swelled up
So
like
you just have edema in your
yeah.
lower
So
legs and-
they gave me some antibiotics. They
Oh,
were
so
concerned
maybe-
it might have been a blood clot.
Well, blood clot certainly would be an issue.
Because I
yeah.
bumped my leg or something like that, and
Yeah.
boom, pow,
It
there's
could-
a blood clot.
And do you
So
get a
I
little
went
bit
and-
of a nick on your leg or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I happen to be diabetic. I was diagnosed
Yeah,
diabetic.
I thought
not
I
too
might have
long
been,
ago. But that's also an issue. Somebody who gets, small cut and then doesn't treat it, it gets infected.
Yep.
That could be very bad for
very bad.
diabetic people. So, well, compression socks or something like that
Yeah.
would help. But those aren't cheap,
No.
But I don't know.
Yeah, so it was just what do they call it?
Yeah, it's too bad.
Just a little swelling, but I took some antibiotics and it went away.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was everybody else was more worried than me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You just go to Tri-City?
I went to the one in Escondido.
Oh, in Escondido.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's an
Alvarado.
inconvenience. I mean, going from here all the way out there.
Yeah,
man.
good thing I got good friends,
Well,
Yeah,
that's always.
but had I not had those friends, I probably would have never went.
Yeah, well,
I would have been
you
like,
would have went
it's gonna be all right. Yeah,
in an ambulance.
In an ambulance. Or,
Yeah. If
in a paddy wagon.
if you had let it go and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden you can't walk and
Yeah, well, I was
Yeah.
having trouble walking. I was like, oh man, maybe I better go.
yeah.
I started getting worried. I'm
I'm
like,
glad you got that taken
yeah, I
care
wasn't
of.
worried at first, and then they're like,
My wife does that for me.
yeah,
She's like,
we think we can get right to it.
you got to do this and you got to do that. And you
Yeah,
gotta do
yeah,
this.
yeah, mom.
Yeah, well, like you said, though, if I didn't have her, I'd be
Yeah, that's all
much
it was.
worse shape.
all the pressure they put me under, but when they started, like, oh well,
Yeah,
it's my time to go. They're like, shut up, dude, you're going to the hospital. All right,
You know, I haven't seen for a while either is Walter. Have you heard about that guy?
Walter.
He was over here behind the CVS for a while last year. I don't know what his last name is.
Black guy?
Huh?
Black guy?
No, it was an older, he was a pretty old guy. And I want to say he was kind of a Native American looking guy.
Yeah,
Real skinny.
I wasn't out here last
old
year.
guy, yeah. But I haven't seen him for a while. But I'm sure Vanessa or one of the other ladies probably has some information on him if I do get in contact. I actually messaged her on Facebook yesterday.
You know Vanessa, don't you, Pam?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
You know when she comes down here, or she just comes
A
down here
lot.
randomly, or what?
She
Yes,
comes down a lot.
Rodney.
Rodney would know. Huh? Look,
Yeah. You would probably know the next time she's coming.
Yeah, I'll message her again. I have a couple car seats that I was going to donate. I didn't know if anybody had kids and they needed a car seat or something like that. I wanted to.
man, it's cool how some people just take care of this community right here. They just will come up there, okay, we got lunches for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, man. It's like
Sure.
like throughout the week, you really are taken care of right here. I sat down here for like a whole week before and just checked it out and stuff.
Yeah.
And we didn't need for nothing.
Yeah.
If you were hungry, there was food. If you were thirsty, there
Right,
was water.
right.
All the necessities, toiletries, whatever you need.
Sure.
Now they're doing showers over there. They're doing showers over there.
Is that what the taller tents are for?
That's the restroom.
Oh, that's actually
Those
like a
are
restroom.
restrooms, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
But
like
the churches bring a shower trailer.
Oh, they do?
Pull it up and then you can go in there and take a shower.
Oh, I think I've
which is
seen
pretty
those
cool.
online.
They're doing
like,
it right here at Bread of Life, and
yeah.
then they're doing it. I don't know where the other one. Some other churches do it.
Yeah.
Pull up a little, it's like a regular trailer, like a travel trailer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got showers instead of.
Give you 10 or 15 minutes washing up.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
I think I've seen something where they actually do laundry like that too.
They do. But I think they do have a laundry thing
Is that right?
like that also.
Yeah. But you haven't seen that down here.
No, not yet.
So you guys use the laundromat over here?
For the most part,
I
yeah.
think there's one right there, right?
There's one over in the corner there.
Yeah.
I like to use the one up the street over there, the 24-hour one.
Yeah.
Go there late. There's nobody there. I could do my laundry.
Sure.
I could go there during the day. It's a mess. But-
Right.
So I just like to do it like after hours.
Well, it's good to see, people coming out, and I mean, I see this couple over here. Looks like they're handing out some fresh fruit and water and stuff, and
Yeah.
but the ultimate goal, obviously, is to not have this, right? I mean, to get
to
get
get
people
'em-
into housing and
Get them into this.
those
get 'em-
types of things,
get 'em-
right?
get 'em- get 'em
get the
active.
social work.
yeah, just
social
the
workers
little
and-
things that it takes to get to be.
Right, and obviously the first step would be,
An ID.
getting proper ID and get the
ID,
cops down here to help you get those things.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of people advocating for housing first.
Yeah.
They have this idea about housing first and tiny houses.
Yeah,
and things like
that's
that.
what
But
they're
there are
working on,
always
the tiny house
problems
thing.
with those things too.
Well, the
Um,
tiny house thing sounds like a great idea, but it'd be similar to this.
Obviously, you
But
would
it'd be
have a
like
little more room. Yeah.
one little community.
Yeah, you would
And they're
have more
responsible
room.
for their own stuff.
Right, and you have electricity.
But then it's the other part of the community, like the neighbors and the
Well, yeah, I mean,
they're
that's-
not going to be
I
not
think-
going to be too cool.
I think that's one of the biggest hurdles right now is finding somewhere to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it on city property, then you have the liability of having it on city property.
Yeah.
Whether it be policing, security, electricity, all those things have to be paid for. You have it on private property, and that's fine if somebody wants to donate that. But in this area, who's donating private property to have tiny house communities?
That plot right there, that land, strip land right there, would be great.
Oh, at the end of the
Yeah,
thing.
that-
Yeah,
that-
I've often wondered that too.
That's just been dead forever, man.
Yeah,
It's like,
there's also a place on Mission as you go under the 78. There's a lot of property. I guess it would be on the north side no, it would be on the south side of the street underneath the overpass there.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a empty lot there and a bunch of land off to the side. And I'm like, well, but again, there's a lot of politics involved.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know.
Politics involved with money and to be honest, a lot of political manipulation.
They're just worried about, what the people are going to do, what they're capable of doing.
Yeah.
Or not doing.
Right.
Okay, so
I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that, honestly, truly doesn't want to get people the help that they need, whether it be getting your ID or getting you food or clothing or whatever, and services and things. It's just how it's done, and nobody seems to agree on how to do it. I mean, in the past, it was churches and civic organizations and community organizations that took in donations and then handed out what needed to be handed out, whether it be transportation or food or clothing and things like that. But now a lot of it's been relegated to the government. The government seems to have taken over that role, and unfortunately, they do a really shitty job.
Yeah, well, they're not
doing it.
They're not. They don't have the. They need to get like somebody one of the people that really care.
Yeah. Well, and not only do they do a bad job at doing it, nobody can decide how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, we need involvement from the community that's here.
You need a responsible person to kind of like.
Well, everybody needs to be responsible.
Well, everybody needs to be responsible,
right?
but then there's still got to be another one that's
sure.
That they'll actually take.
I say the hardest, the biggest obstacle we have in getting services and things to the people needed is them saying yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pride. People are prideful.
Yeah.
People are prideful, and I mean, I was homeless for about 6 months one time, and I said the same thing. I'm like, I'm not asking my friends for help.
Yeah, I'll go.
I mean, I
got myself into this mess. I'll get myself out of it.
I gotta get myself out, right?
Yeah.
And I did.
It's not easy.
But again, it needs when you're in a position, like this, you need to be able to say yes. Like you say, yes, I need an ID so I can apply for whatever benefits I'm eligible for.
Whatever, yeah.
Some people I've talked to, I said, look, if the government, the city or the county or whatever said, hey, we've got free housing for you, no obligation, you come and go as you please, but there are rules, right? You can't have drugs, you can't have alcohol, smoking on the outside, these types of things, because obviously you have to mitigate your liability.
And don't walk away from it.
Yeah. And they say,
my friend was like that.
Yeah.
They were going to give her everything like that.
Yeah.
Put her in the place. She was in there. But they're like, okay, so you got to be like this. And you got to be clean. And she's like,
yeah.
She left.
Yeah. And that's pretty
She's
much
dead
universally.
Now. She's dead now because she wasn't indoors.
And
she got
unfortunately, I mean, obviously, I'm sorry to hear that people make choices that put themselves in situations like your friend, and shit happens. But shit happens no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, you heard about the guy who. He was basically murdered in those Mission Cove apartments. Him and his friend were inside. One got housing inside the Mission Cove apartments, and then invited his friend in. Then there was some ensuing argument somehow, and he beat him to death.
Oh
with,
shit!
A freaking pot or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wow!
But obviously that guy made a fucking choice. And it didn't turn out well for him. So whether he has housing or not, people are still doing the people things.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to say yes and be responsible. So.